we bring in White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy, Stephen Miller, who has just met with the president a short time ago, something that he does quite often. Stephen, good to have you with us today. Thank you for being here. So what is the reaction in the White House to the fact that this noon deadline for China to begin some sort of discussion came and went? Will we now see a 104% tariff against China?
Well, very simply, this is about the President of the United States defending the core national security interests of the United States. China has hollowed out our defense industrial base. This is very important for your viewers to understand. America cannot create the essential materials it needs to ensure our security into the future because China has stolen those supply chains. So America, but not just America, our allies around the world are dependent on China for our own defense, for our own economic well-being. That is the national security threat the president is responding to. And he's going to take whatever actions are necessary to ensure that he can keep America safe and that we can live in a country in which American workers and American factories can supply all of the materials and needs for our national security and defense.
Is there any indication that they are about to come to the table? Because they sound pretty dug in their public comments.
I believe that China will be forced very soon to come to the table for the simple reason that China's economy is completely dependent on its exports to the United States and to the West. China has built its entire industrial strategy since its entrance into the World Trade Organization on being able to sell highly subsidized, currency-manipulated, dumped goods into U.S. markets. It is an industrial strategy from China to product dump strategically to take out American steel, to take out American aluminum, to take out core American defense industries and defense needs so that we're reliant on China. And what's happening here is that China is now discovering for the first time that they have met an American president who is not going to be intimidated, who's not going to be bullied, who's not going to be coerced, who's going to stand up for our essential security needs.
Yeah,
China needs us because of their export dependency on China.
It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. And I thought what Jamieson Greer said in the introduction to our segment, which I'm not sure if you had a chance to hear, but he said the Chinese approach, which has been that we're going to retaliate. And then he said the president has recognized this, that China is the holdout, and he wants to focus on other partners. And this is what I find really interesting, and I'm curious what you can share about this strategy. Because if you reorganize the trade relationships with so many of our larger partners, Canada, Mexico, Japan, all of these different entities who in varying degrees have agreed to some sort of discussion at least, does that isolate China? Because we know that China has found other routes to go through, Vietnam, Cambodia, and will these trade agreements mean that China becomes even more isolated?
Yes, well, this is part of the brilliance of the president's strategy. If you look at those original reciprocal tariff rates that were announced, who got hit the hardest? China, Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand. That's the China sphere of influence. The true trade deficit with China is $1 trillion a year because China is shipping all of its goods through other countries like Vietnam, like Cambodia, like Thailand, but also it's sending its supply components through the EU as well that they're then making into our markets, through Canada, through Mexico. China is the destabilizing force here for the entire system of global trade. And everyone's put up with it, Martha, everyone. The EU's put up with it, Mexico's put up with it, Canada's put up with it, Japan, Korea, everyone. One man, one president has said, we are not going to let China extort, dominate, and control our entire system of international trade through cheating. All those factories that have closed over all those years because of China's cheating, someone is actually finally saying we're going to bring those factories back home. And yes, as you pointed out, making strategic trade deals that must be fair, again, to the American worker, that must reduce the trade deficit, but making those strategic trade deals with our trading partners around the world will isolate China further, and it will force China to come to the table and finally redress these decades of grievances.
Let me ask you this. Obviously, there's an interesting group of people, including Bill Ackman, who did not support President Trump in his first term, but really came to support him over the course of the last election. And they're making their feelings known a bit on social media about how they believe this should be navigated. Obviously, they're not the president of the United States, but this is from Bill Ackman talking about his support for President Trump and his advocacy for a pause. He says, some have misinterpreted my thoughts on tariffs. I'm totally supportive of President Trump using tariffs to eliminate tariffs and unfair trade practices for our trading partners and induce more investment and manufacturing in our country. I am advocating for a 30, 60, or 90-day pause before the tariffs are implemented tomorrow to enable negotiations to be completed without a major global economic disruption, which will harm the most vulnerable countries, companies, and citizens. And he goes on to say more there. What is your response to that, Stephen?
Well, my response to that, in part, is why is it only described by some of our friends in Wall Street as a crisis when we correct and we answer a generation of systemic abuse against American workers? Martha, was it considered a crisis when all of our steel mills were shuttered? Was it considered a crisis when American automobile manufacturers went from dominating the entire global trade in autos to being shrunk to the point of barely having any exports around the globe at all? Right? Was it considered to be a catastrophe, a calamity, when the entire Rust Belt was frozen, its industries ripped apart? Was it considered to be an economic catastrophe when we could no longer build a ship in this country, could no longer build an airplane in this country, could no longer build a helicopter in this country, when we couldn't even provide for the basic means to defend ourselves, couldn't even build a Coast Guard cutter in this country, that our supply chains, our industrial base has been so eroded? We have a president who has now actually taken the necessary action to bring back American industrial power and might so that we will have real hard deterrence in this country, real hard strength in this country, and the middle class workers, the families, can earn an income that they can retire on. They can retire with dignity, Martha.
I would
they
imagine
can earn
that
an
you would
income that
like
they can
to hear
support their whole family.
That you'd like to hear some of these people maybe take a tone that thinks about some of those people a little bit more.
Yes, can they
and
think
maybe
about what people have suffered over the last 20 or 30 years?
Yeah, no.
And by the way, we are on the verge now, because of President Trump's strength and leadership, of fixing our entire global trading system. This is an astonishing fact. Did you know, for example, that we have a $50 billion trade deficit with Japan alone in automobiles? Here's the country we protect. Here's a country that we defend. Here's a country that's an ally and partner of the United States. Why is it that we have a $50 billion automobile deficit with Japan and another $50 billion automobile deficit with South Korea? Our troops are stationed right now in South Korea, keeping them safe and free. Our troops, our soldiers, away from home, away from families in South Korea. $50 billion automobile trade deficit with that one country alone. President Trump is going to fix our global trading relationships. And at the same time, he's going to work with Congress to make America the manufacturing center of the world with the lowest taxes, the lowest regulations, and the cheapest energy.
Stephen, we're going to talk biotech coming up in this hour, and also U.S. Steel. So, you know, two big elements of the trade relationship with China and with other countries around the world where we want to be at a greater advantage. Stephen Miller, thank you. Always good to have you with us.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.